Good morning. It's a privilege to stand before you today because I know something profound about every single one of you in this room. You have the potential to achieve greatness. Mindset is the very foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. It's not just about thinking positively or trying to stay optimistically or trying to stay optimistic in the face of challenges. No, it's deeper than that. Your mindset is the lens through which you see and respond to the world around you. It is your belief system. It is the way you interpret your circumstances, and it dictates how you move forward, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. I want you to hear me on this. You will never rise higher than the way you see yourself. The way you think about yourself, the way you value yourself, and the way you believe in your potential will ultimately shape the life you live. I've encountered so many people throughout my life who had the potential to do great things, but their mindset kept them stuck. They couldn't see themselves beyond their current situation. They couldn't see beyond their failures. They couldn't see beyond their past mistakes. But here's the truth I need you to understand today. Your past does not define you. What defines you is the way you choose to think about your future, the way you choose to believe in your ability to overcome and to rise above. You see, mindset is a decision. It's a daily decision. You have the power every single morning when you wake up to choose how you will view your day, your challenges, and your opportunities. Let me give you a personal example. There was a time in my life when everything seemed to be going wrong. The business I had built wasn't thriving. I was struggling to make ends meet. I faced disappointment after disappointment. But in the midst of all of that, I made a choice. I made a choice that I was not going to let my circumstances dictate my future. I wasn't going to let my failures define me. I began to intentionally shape my mindset. I started to choose to see opportunity instead of obstacles. I began to tell myself every morning, today is another chance to get closer to my goals. I may not be where I want to be yet, but I am not where I used to be. That shift in my thinking changed everything. You see, when you have the right mindset, you stop viewing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. Challenges no longer become something to fear, but something to embrace. But it's not just about choosing to be positive or to see opportunities in adversity. It's about truly changing the way you think about yourself and your ability to succeed. For many of you, the biggest obstacle you'll face isn't your external situation. It's the limiting beliefs you carry in your mind. It's the belief that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. But I want to tell you today, those beliefs are lies. We were created for greatness. Every single one of you has within you the ability to achieve everything you dream of. But the first step is changing the way you think about yourself. If you continue to see yourself as small, weak, or incapable, that's how the world will respond to you. But when you start seeing yourself as someone capable of overcoming, someone capable of rising above, the world will begin to open up to you in ways you can't even imagine. Mindset mastery isn't something that happens overnight. It's a continual process of challenging your old beliefs and replacing them with truths that propel you forward. Every day, you must wake up and choose to renew your mind. This means every day you choose to tell yourself that you are worthy of success. Every day you choose to see your challenges as opportunities. Every day you choose to believe that no matter how many setbacks you face, you will keep going and you will overcome. This daily commitment to a powerful mindset is what will take you from where you are now to where you want to be. I know it's not always easy. There will be days when the thoughts of doubt and fear creep in. But when those thoughts come, you have to remember who you are. You have to remember that your future is bigger than your past. And you have to remind yourself in those moments that you are capable of more than you think. So every morning, take a moment to prepare your mind for the day ahead. Reaffirm your vision. Speak life over yourself. Begin to declare that today will be the day that you take one more step toward your dreams. Choose to believe that the best is yet to come and remind yourself that you are worthy of everything you desire. Because here's the truth, my friend. The quality of your life will always be determined by the quality of your thoughts. If you want to succeed, if you want to achieve greatness, it begins with mastering your mind. Your mindset will either propel you to the top or hold you back in the pit. So choose to think like a champion. Choose to see yourself as someone destined for greatness. And choose to believe that nothing is impossible for you. And now that we've set the foundation with mindset, let's talk about the second essential ingredient to success: discipline. You see, mindset without action is just a dream. It doesn't matter how much you believe in yourself or how powerful your thoughts are. If you don't back them up with disciplined actions, nothing will change. Discipline is what bridges the gap between your vision and your reality. It's what turns your aspirations into accomplishments. I've often said that success is not a destination, it's a daily habit. And that's the truth. Every single day you are presented with choices. Choices that can either move you closer to your goals or pull you further away. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't comes down to one thing: what they do consistently, day in and day out. Let me take you back to a pivotal moment in my life. There was a time when I was just starting out. I had big dreams. Dreams that seemed almost impossible. Dreams that others told me weren't realistic. I knew I had something inside of me, but the external circumstances didn't reflect that at all. There was no instant success, no shortcuts, no magic formula. It was the simple act of showing up day after day, putting in the work that slowly but surely brought me closer to my vision. In those moments of struggle, when the results weren't immediate, when the road was hard, I had to lean on my discipline. I had to remind myself that success is about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Success is about doing what you need to do, even when the reward seems far away. There were mornings when I woke up tired, frustrated, and unsure of whether all the hard work would ever pay off. But I knew this one thing: consistency beats talent every time. Discipline is the key that unlocks the door to your success. We all face distractions in life. We all have those moments when we'd rather take the easy route, when we'd rather skip the work or put off what needs to be done. But let me tell you something I learned early on. Those small moments of hesitation, those small moments of "I'll do it later," add up. They can either drive you toward your dreams or they can pull you away from them. When you cultivate discipline, you begin to take control of your time. You stop allowing external circumstances to dictate your progress. Instead, you become the master of your day. Discipline is what turns procrastination into action, hesitation into momentum. It's what keeps you moving forward even when you're tired, even when you're facing setbacks, and even when the world around you seems like it's falling apart. Consistency, on the other hand, is the backbone of discipline. It's not about doing something great once in a while. It's about doing it every day, even when no one is watching. Consistency is what keeps you on track when the excitement fades and the novelty wears off. It's what allows you to stay the course when the world tries to pull you in a million different directions. Think about it this way: success is the sum of all your daily actions. It's the small, seemingly insignificant things you do every day that eventually add up to something massive. You might not see the results today. You might not see them tomorrow. But if you keep showing up, if you stay consistent in your actions, the compound effect of that discipline will lead you to success. There were times when I didn't feel like working. There were days when I just wanted to quit. But I stayed disciplined. I kept showing up. And little by little, the results started to appear. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't immediate. But it was steady. And over time, it began to pay off. That's the power of consistency. It's not about making grand gestures. It's about consistently doing what's necessary, even in the face of adversity. Here's a question for you to ask yourself. Are you being disciplined enough in your daily actions? Are you making the decisions each day that will propel you toward your goals? Are you showing up even on the days when it's hard? The good news is that discipline is something you can develop. You don't have to be born with it. You can create it by making small, deliberate choices every day. And over time, it will become a part of who you are. One thing I've learned in my journey is that success doesn't happen overnight. It happens one disciplined action at a time. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It's a series of small, consistent steps. And each step you take, even if it feels insignificant at the moment, is a step closer to your destination. It's the act of showing up every single day that brings results, and consistency is the fuel that keeps you going. I want you to remember this. Discipline is freedom. It's not about restriction, it's about liberation. When you have discipline, you are no longer enslaved by distractions. You are free to focus on what truly matters. You are free to pursue your goals with intention. You are free to keep your promises to yourself, even when the going gets tough. So let me challenge you today. What will you do tomorrow that will bring you one step closer to your dream? Will you wake up early and put in the work? Will you stay focused and say no to distractions? Will you remain disciplined even when the journey seems long and hard? If you commit to daily discipline and consistency, you will begin to see results. And over time, those results will build into something you never thought possible. Are you ready to hold on? The key to success is not talent or luck. It's discipline and consistency. And the good news is you have the power to make that choice every single day. So let's get to work. Let's show up. Let's be disciplined and consistent, and let's watch our lives change. Let me tell you something that will change the way you look at success. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And that journey requires you to keep learning. Now, I know that might sound like a simple statement, but hear me when I say that the moment you stop learning is the moment you start to fall behind. The world is constantly changing. And the people who succeed are the ones who continuously improve, evolve, and grow. The secret to success is found in your willingness to develop yourself every single day. I remember early in my career, I thought I had learned everything I needed to know. I'd reached a point where I was comfortable with my knowledge, my skills, and my position. But then something happened that changed everything. I started realizing that the people who were winning, those who were achieving the success I dreamed of, were never complacent. They were always learning. They were reading books, attending seminars, seeking mentors, and always looking for ways to grow. So I made a decision. I decided that no matter how successful I became, I would never stop learning. Every day, I would strive to grow, expand my knowledge, and improve my skills. And let me tell you, that decision completely transformed my life. Your growth is directly tied to your willingness to invest in yourself. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more opportunities will open up to you. I want you to think about it for a moment. How much time are you spending on personal development every day? Are you reading books that challenge your thinking? Are you learning new skills that push you out of your comfort zone? Are you investing in your growth even when you think you know enough? Too many people think that success is about working hard in a job or business, but that's only part of it. The truth is, success begins with self-development. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. And as you become more valuable, the world will start to recognize you for the value you bring. People will seek your expertise. Opportunities will knock on your door. You'll be invited into rooms where decisions are made. But let's be clear, learning is not always comfortable. Sometimes it means unlearning old habits, challenging old beliefs, and stepping into the unknown. It means taking a risk and opening yourself up to new ideas, even if they challenge everything you've known up until now. I know it's tempting to stay in your comfort zone, to keep doing things the way you've always done them. But let me tell you something. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Growth happens when you step out, when you push yourself beyond the limits of what you know. And when you allow yourself to be stretched. This idea of self-development isn't just about books and classes, though. It's about every experience you have. Life itself is a classroom. Every challenge you face, every setback, every failure is an opportunity to learn. Every person you meet has something to teach you, and every mistake is a lesson in disguise. The people who succeed are the ones who don't see failure as the end, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. Let me share a moment in my life when this hit home. There was a time when I faced what I thought was a massive failure. I had a vision and I was working hard to achieve it, but one particular project didn't go as planned. I was devastated. But instead of allowing that failure to define me, I chose to learn from it. I sat down and asked myself, what can I take from this? What lesson is hidden in this experience? And when I took the time to reflect, I realized that I had learned more in that moment of failure than I would have ever learned in any moment of success. That's the power of self-development. You turn every experience into an opportunity to grow. You never allow your circumstances to control your growth. Instead, you take control of your growth, no matter what comes your way. Let me challenge you to think about your own journey. What's the last thing you learned that pushed you out of your comfort zone? Are you continuing to invest in your growth? Are you actively seeking ways to expand your mind, your knowledge, and your skills? The truth is, if you're not intentionally learning, you're falling behind. Now, I know you might be thinking, but I'm already busy. I have a lot on my plate. How can I find time to learn every day? Here's the thing. You make time for what matters. You might not have hours to read every day, but can you commit to reading for just 15 minutes each morning? Can you listen to podcasts during your commute? Can you take an online course during your lunch break? These small actions add up. The consistent effort to learn and grow will pay off over time. And remember, learning isn't just about accumulating knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge. When you learn something new, don't just let it sit in your mind. Take action on it. Implement what you learn. Knowledge without application is wasted potential. When you apply what you learn, you make progress, you get results, and you build momentum. So I want to ask you today, how much are you investing in your personal growth? Are you learning from every experience, from every challenge, from every success? Are you striving to be better today than you were yesterday? Because let me tell you, the moment you stop learning, the moment you stop growing, but if you commit to growth every day, to learning and applying what you learn, the world will open up to you. Doors will open. Opportunities will arise. Your potential will unfold in ways you never imagined. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize that the life you once dreamed of is now your reality. Because you didn't just dream. You did the work. You kept learning and you kept growing. And that's what makes success possible. Fear. It's a word that holds so many people back from stepping into their potential. Fear is the enemy of progress. It will keep you stuck in the same place, playing small, living below your potential. Fear convinces you that you're not capable, that you're not strong enough, that you're not ready. It whispers in your ear, telling you to wait, to play it safe, to avoid risk. But let me tell you this right now, you will never, ever accomplish anything meaningful if you continue to let fear dictate your decisions. I want to be clear about something. Fear is a natural emotion. We all experience it. Every successful person, every trailblazer, every person who has achieved greatness has had to face fear. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they respond to fear. Fear doesn't go away just because you want it to. It doesn't disappear when you get to a certain level of success. But here's the key. You can choose to act despite fear. In fact, you must act despite fear. I'll never forget a time early in my journey when I had to make a major decision. The opportunity in front of me was massive. It had the potential to change everything. Change the trajectory of my business, change my influence, change my life. But there was one problem. I was terrified. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of stepping into the unknown. But then I remembered something powerful that I want you to hold on to today. Success is on the other side of fear. I knew that if I allowed fear to control me, I would never take that step. And if I never took that step, I would never experience the growth, the success, the victory that I knew was possible. So in that moment, I made a decision. I decided that fear would not dictate my future. I made the choice to act even though I was afraid. And that decision changed everything. I want to challenge you today. What are you afraid of? What's holding you back from taking that next step toward your dreams? Maybe it's fear of failure. Maybe it's fear of rejection. Maybe it's fear of what people will think. But I want you to understand this. Fear is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you are on the verge of something great. Fear shows up when you are about to push past your comfort zone. When you are about to do something that could change your life. So, when fear shows up, don't run from it. Don't shrink back. Embrace it. Step into it. Use it as fuel to move forward. Now, I'm not telling you to be reckless. I'm not saying that you should throw caution to the wind and take unnecessary risks. But I am telling you this. You cannot let fear stop you from taking action. The path to success is filled with moments of uncertainty, moments when you don't have all the answers, moments when you feel like you're walking on a tightrope without a safety net. But it's in those moments that growth happens. It's in those moments that breakthrough happens. I want to remind you of something incredibly important. The greatest opportunities often come disguised as challenges, as fear-inducing situations. Think about it. The opportunities that will change your life won't be the ones that feel easy, safe, and comfortable. The real opportunities, the ones that can launch you to the next level, will scare you. But those are the ones you need to step into, even if you're shaking with fear. The ones that scare you are often the ones that will set you free. Let me give you an example. There was a time when I had to make a significant investment in my business. It was a lot of money. More money than I had ever spent at once, more money than I was comfortable with. And fear crept in. What if I lost it all? What if it didn't work? What if I couldn't get the results I was hoping for? But then I remembered that no risk, no reward. I remembered that there's no way to grow without taking risks. And so I took the leap. I pushed past the fear, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. It was a game changer. That's the power of acting despite fear. You can't let fear stop you from moving forward. You have to learn to acknowledge it, understand it, and then take action in spite of it. Because the truth is, fear will never fully disappear. But the more you act despite fear, the more confident you'll become. The more you push through, the easier it will get. Every step forward is a victory over fear, and every victory builds your courage, your confidence, and your ability to face even bigger challenges in the future. When you act in the face of fear, you build momentum. You show yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, and that momentum becomes unstoppable. The more you act, the more fear loses its grip on you. Eventually, you'll find that the very things that used to terrify you no longer hold power over you. You'll be able to step into any challenge with courage, knowing that you've overcome fear time and time again. So, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, what's that one thing you've been afraid to do? What's that one step you've been putting off because of fear? What would happen if you took that step right now? What would happen if you acted? Even though the fear is there, even though the uncertainty is there, the only way to find out is to step forward. And listen, I get it. Fear doesn't make the action easy. But action is the antidote to fear. When you move, when you take that first step, even if it's shaky, even if you're uncertain, that's when fear starts to lose its grip. And that's when you step into your greatness. So today, make the choice. Don't let fear hold you back anymore. Act in spite of it. Step out of your comfort zone, take the leap, and watch what happens. You are capable of more than you think. Fear is just a signal that you're on the right path. So don't let it stop you. Embrace it, move forward, and create the life you've always dreamed of.